Okay.
Okay, let me refresh.
We are live.
We're live.
I don't know if I can see if anybody's watching though. Oh, 0 viewers. We're doing great.
Let's see. I've just refreshed it.
Yeah, I might go on it on.
Oh yeah, we're up. Okay.
Yes. Cool. Is it showing any viewers for you guys?
4. It's
3.
probably us.
Okay. Yeah, are you guys all on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just you guys. Yeah, it's showing 3 on mine, so.
It's
It
showing
says 5
5
watching
mine.
for me.
Okay, well, I'm not on it, so that means we have at least 1 unique viewer.
We should just start talking.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Armin from Armin Reads, and we are doing our first live show for the Trick or Treat-a-thon, which is all very exciting. So we're just going to go through and introduce ourselves. You're already on my channel, so I guess you know who I am. But Armin Reads. On.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Connor.
Okay, so hi, I'm Connor. I'm from Scotland, and I read a whole bunch of different books, from YA to classics and just everything. And I created a zombie prompt for the readathon, so yeah.
I'm Charlotte from Alonzi Reader. I'm from England, and I read a lot of. I never know what to say in terms of what books I read, but I think I read a wide variety of books. And I came up with the ghost prompt.
I'm Andrew from Andrew Reads. I'm from Texas, and I mostly read like fantasy, young adult fantasy. That's like my thing. Yeah, and I'm excited to do this live.
I'm Leah from Leah Crompton, and I literally read all types of books, and I came up with the siren prompt.
Oh, that's
That showed up. I didn't know where that would show up, but it showed up at the bottom. So cool. All right. So we have a pretty loose agenda for today. Nothing really super planned. We are going to do a reading sprint, talk about our most recent reads, and if you guys have any questions, we can do a little Q&A type thing. So I guess we can just get started with our reads. Okay. So I literally don't even have it. Okay. Cool. I finished this last night. I don't know if this is backwards. Can you guys read that?
It's right. Yeah.
I can't figure out where it is on the screen. All right. I read this last night. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. finishing it. And then I woke up in like 6 hours and I was very tired, but I was still glad. I don't regret finishing it last night. It was definitely I don't want to pick up another book today. Like, I know we have to read something for the reading sprint, but I'm not like mentally prepared to read anything else after this because it was such a labyrinth of stories. I don't even know like how to articulate my thoughts about this book, but you'll see it in my vlog. It's so much. There's like so many different things going on all the time. And the plot twists, like, anyways, I give it a 5 out of 5. So highly recommend if you guys have not read this book. Thank you, Andrew, for recommending this. Huh?
Is it a fantasy?
Oh my god, no. It's like a...
I don't know anything about it.
It's historic. Oh yeah, I should talk to you about what this book is actually about. I don't even know how to explain it. So basically, like, the very bare bones plot is there's this kid who lives in Barcelona, and hi Lisa, hi Ella, we have some viewers, cool. So it takes place in Barcelona in 1945, which is like after the war, and there's a kid named Daniel who finds a book in this place that his dad takes him to. It's called the Cemetery of Forgotten Books, and basically it's like this huge collection of books that have been forgotten, and his dad takes him there and he finds this book called The Shadow of the Wind, so it's already kind of meta because this book is called The Shadow of the Wind as well, and he reads this book and he falls in love with it and he wants to find all the other books by this author so he can read them. And then he finds out that somebody is seeking out and destroying every single book by this author and he cannot find anything about this author. So he gets caught up in this huge kind of plot about this author's life and all of the history behind it and a bunch of other stuff going on at the same time, and it's all very like deep and thought-provoking and kind of scary. It's actually kind of spooky, which I'm glad, because my first book of this month was not very spooky at all.
It's so good.
Yeah. So I guess
Sounds
genre,
amazing.
it would be like part horror, part comedy, because there's a lot of random funny tangents that happen in this book. Horror, comedy, historical fiction, thriller. I don't know, Andrew, you got anything else?
I was surprised. I was like genuinely scared at some parts, but I really liked that book. It was like really good.
I was reading it last night, like kind of scared, like looking at it through my fingers because it was kind of scary.
Yeah.
That sounds cool. So should I go next?
Sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in the middle of 2 books right now. One of them is Best Ghost Stories by Charles Dickens. However, this is not spooky. It's all like Christmas stories. So like I knew that A Christmas Carol was in it, and I was like, oh, I'll just skip that one. But it turns out like most of them are set at Christmas, so not really spooky vibes. However, it's quite good. There's one especially called The Madman's Manuscript, and it's only 8 pages long, so it's a very short story. However, it's actually very like not what you would expect Charles Dickens to write at all. It was kind of more like Edgar Allan Poe. It was kind of like The Telltale Heart. It was really good. And I'm also in the middle of The Kill Order, which is the prequel to the Maze Runner series. And this is for the disaster prompt, because obviously there's like a pandemic in it and like sun flares and all sorts of stuff. And it's really good, actually. These books are so easy to read. Like you can fly through them. Like I started this last night, like late last night, and I'm almost finished. I can't wait to go. So that's what I'm reading right now.
I've never
Okay.
read The Maze Runner.
You should read it.
I can't decide.
Yeah.
If
Actually, it's like
They're
feel
actually quite fun.
Some people
They're
like
fun.
don't like them. Some people do. And I do like them. I think it's that thing about you either don't like them or you do. It can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I read them back in like 2011 or something, and I really loved them. And then when I reread them, I didn't like them as much. But they are like really easy reads. Like you can read them in like one day, to be honest, because the chapters are all like 4 pages long. So you just keep flicking through it. Like
I mean, definitely go into it expecting like a 2011, 2012
Yeah.
dystopian. Like that's what you're gonna get. But if that's what you want, then it's good.
Have y'all all read it? Like all 4 of y'all?
I don't-
Yeah. I'm not the only one.
Is the film better than the books, or is it vice versa?
the films are really different. The first film and the first book are the same, and then after that, the films kind of just made up their own plot.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
did.
Yeah.
And they said for the last film, they're like, oh yeah, we'll come back to like what happened in the book near the end of this film, but it still was.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the films are good as their own things. Like if
Yeah,
you watch them
they
like
are.
10 years after you've read the books, they're actually good films.
Oh yeah.
But don't watch them right after because
When I read them, when I read the books back in like 2011, and then I saw the film, when I saw the second one, I was so angry. I was like, they changed everything. And then
I loved
when I
it.
reread them this year, and then I rewatched the movies because I didn't like the books as much this time. When I watched the movies, I was like, these actually are quite good, like on their own. So
I did like the films, but I guess that's maybe because I didn't read the book.
yeah, well, I like them
Yeah.
now. I didn't at the time, but I like them now.
Okay, I'll go next with my read. I'm currently reading The Last of August by Brittany Cavallaro, which is like the least spooky read ever because it's a retelling of Sherlock Holmes. But this is the second book in the Sherlock Holmes series, which is about the descendants of Sherlock Holmes and John Watson, called Charlotte and Jamie, and it's about them going to school together, and like they know of each other because obviously their family history. But they go to school together in America, and someone dies, and then the murder gets pinned on them, so they have to like clear their name. And this one obviously takes place afterwards, so I won't say much. But I love the relationship between them two because it's obviously implied that they like each other, but it's not on the page. But I think with this one, there's a lot of info dump scenes, so it's a bit annoying just sitting there with like huge chunks of dialogue about them just explaining stuff about explaining family history, but it's still fun and cute and not very spooky. But yeah, that's what I'm reading.
It's a consolation prize for all the Sherlock and John shippers out there. Like, we don't
Yeah.
get that. You can get their kids.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything to do with Sherlock Holmes. Like,
You should watch the BBC
I've never watched any of
show.
it.
It's actually
I
good.
I
know.
tried watching the
BBC
BBC show and I did not like it. I did not get on with it. And then I tried watching the films with Robert Downey Jr. and couldn't get on with them. It must be something to do with like film adaptations and TV show adaptations of Sherlock. I just don't get on with. It's really
See,
weird.
like I've just never read the originals, so when I watched the BBC show, I was totally hooked, and also I just loved Benedict Cumberbatch's like stuff. So also Martin Freeman was in it. It's just very good.
Yeah, I've never seen them or read them or anything, so I feel like I should by now, but I haven't. Okay, but I'm reading The Gilded Wolves.
Yes.
I love that cover so much.
It's
Yeah,
really,
same.
I'm only like 50 pages in, so I'm not like hooked yet, if that makes sense. Like, but I'm trying to get there. And I finished 2 books already, which was like really good. I read Lifelike and The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, which I loved so much. I cried so much. But yeah, I feel like this one's gonna be really good too. So I feel like I'm just reading like all of the really good books in October. And I also don't know how to explain this one, so I can't tell you guys what it's about.
It's a heist book, if that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it get compared to like Six of Crows.
It's a little bit confusing. So it's like there's a cast of characters and it's a heist book, but it's a little bit different. Basically, there's like this secret society of people who guard these fragments that are like some powerful, and some people have powers of like, I don't even remember what they're called, but they have powers and they're connected to those fragments. And this guy's trying to like reclaim his, not heritage, but his I forgot the word.
His house, I think. Like his house.
His house, like his I forgot the word for like not his dynasty. I don't know. Okay, anyways, he's trying to reclaim his inheritance. That's what it is. Because it's been like deprived. He's been deprived of it, and he's trying to get it. And these cast of characters, they all have their own thing that they're trying to do as well. It's pretty good. It gets better though. It is a little info dumpy at the beginning, but it gets better.
I'm trying not to compare it to Six of Crows because I know like a lot of people were like mad that people did that, but it's kind of hard. But I'm trying not to.
What does it look like under the cover? Do you have the hardback?
Yeah, and this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, so I don't know if it's like different, but it's really pretty.
That's so pretty.
I don't know if the regular one is like this. I got this one for like $8, so I bought it on Depop from somebody. So I was like,
Okay, so I have just finished literally about 30 minutes ago, Misery by Stephen King, and I don't think it was one of his more gory horror novels, but it was still really gory, and I didn't really like it that much. I did rate it 2.5 stars, which isn't great, but I'm still happy I read it. So I don't really know what book I'm going to pick up next because I'm not reading one now, but we'll have to see.
What was it that like put it down to 2.5 stars?
I don't know. There were quite a few slurs, so it didn't sit right with me. Yeah, that was the first Stephen King novel I've ever read, so I had no idea. But yeah, there was a lot of slurs, and there was a lot of, because it's a book in a book, there was a lot of like just chapters where it was him reciting what he's written in his book. I don't really know how to explain it, but it was just super boring.
I wouldn't like
so I
that.
did skim read quite a bit of it.
I don't like things like that, like books within books. Or like, I also hate dreams because it's like it doesn't affect the main storyline. So why are you telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just very unnecessary.
Yeah. Like 19. No, I said see in 1984. Like the main important part of the book is like the book within a book, but I had to skip it because it was so boring to me. Like, and that was like that's the main point of the book, but I just couldn't sit through it. It was so boring.
I've never read 1984.
It's
not
really
even
good.
that long. I need to read it.
No. It's really good, but there's just like this one chapter, which is like the main chapter, and I had to skip it because it was so boring to me.
I literally hauled it in a video today, so now I'm like, okay.
It's really good. It's just like one chapter.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you get it from a charity shop, it's okay. You can just send it back. Like if you buy it full price from like a bookstore, then it's a little problematic. But if you've got it for like 30 cents, then what's the issue?
I forgot what I read, but something I had read like last month, I think, had like a dream at the beginning of every chapter, and it was just so
Oh.
annoying because like, and it's like foreshadowing, but it's like nobody in real life would have dreams of stuff that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't
Yeah,
like
they
that.
always
Over
remember their
it.
dreams in books as well. And I'm like, I can barely remember my dreams. When I do, they're the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like, what kind of Freudian thing are you on? Because my dreams are the craziest things. I think The
I feel like-
Gilded Wolves also has like flashbacks at the beginning of every chapter, though, or every few chapters.
Yeah, I
Mm.
think so. But like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, that if y'all read that one, it like it goes into the past, like in the late 1700s, and then you're in the 2013s, and then it goes to like the 1800s and then 2013, and it like catches you up like from the past, which usually I don't like, but it was done really well. So now I'm like, okay, if something's done well, then it's not just like I hate it. So like if a dream was done well, I would like it, but like, you know, it has to be done good.
See, I'm saying I don't like dreams, and then in this, all the flashbacks are done as dreams, but I actually like that because it's actual. It's, the flashbacks are part of the story. You know what I mean? It's not just a dream for the sake of a dream. But so I feel like a hypocrite now. But in general, I don't like. In general, I don't like dreams.
Yeah, I'm really iffy about the jumping back and forth between times because it can be done well or it can be done in a really confusing way, and also just slow down the pace of the novel. So I think like, what was it? The Night Circus was kind of chronologically weird, but I just really didn't like it. I might give it another shot because I know everybody loved it, and I'm just like,
You definitely should.
where was the plot? Like it was like supposed to be a love story and also a competition, and neither of those things were like poignant at all. Like I didn't see them. I was like, what is happening? So yeah. But on the other hand, oh sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just said I haven't read that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I got it from, it was one of those like Barnes & Noble Cafe $5 things that was going on.
Yeah.
Yes, Therese. Say hi to some of the people in the chat. I see Lisa, Therese, TB. Thanks for coming out, guys. But yeah, going on with like the chronological thing, I read A Place for Us, which was told like not chronologically at all. It was very much character driven, but I loved that one, so I think it's really like hit or miss for me.
It's also
I think everything just depends on how the author does it. Like,
yeah, it's also the same with like different characters' POVs. I think what was it I read? Oh, it was Zenith. Awkward. But yeah, but it was Zenith, and I just remember like there was so many characters, and we obviously got introduced to our main character, and then we didn't really get introduced to these other characters that we were getting POVs from, and like I'd be like, who the hell is this person? And then we're jumping back to our main character, and then we're jumping back to other characters, so you just didn't know who they were, and it was just such a mess. I feel like if you're going to be jumping between POVs, you need to establish all the characters. It's just, it's just such a mess.
So did you not like that book, or?
No, I DNF'd it. I've tried it twice, and oh my god, it was terrible.
Which book did you say this was?
Zenith.
Okay.
I was gonna buy that, but I'm glad I didn't now.
I wouldn't waste the time. I just wouldn't. No.
I think the Gilded Wolves has like multiple POVs. I don't know why I'm saying I think it does.
Yes, it
but
does.
It's, I don't know. Like right now, it's hard to care about the characters because I just met them, so they're just talking, and I'm just like, okay. But I don't know. But I'm gonna, hopefully that'll change.
I kind of want to reread The Gilded Wolves before I read the second book because it was good, but I think the same thing happened with Six of Crows for me, is I just couldn't connect to the characters the first time around. So I'm going to read Six of Crows, obviously, but I was just like so busy when I read both of them that it just like didn't hit at all. Like, I don't know. I just didn't care about the characters in either of them, but I still gave them 4 stars, so like I'm confused. I don't know. This is why I should take notes about the books I read, because I finish them and I rate them. And then I completely forget why I rated them the way I did.
Like I always say, I feel like you always talk about things in your favorite book. So I've said in so many videos, like, "Oh, Jane Eyre is my favorite book." And see now, if you ask me to tell why, I can do it. Like, I know it's my favorite book, but I can't tell you why it's my favorite book.
Yeah,
it's just the feeling. Yeah, just how you feel when you're reading it. Like,
yeah. I'm gonna reread it in January though.
But then I always doubt myself. It's like later I'm like, why didn't I like that book? Did I just make a mistake? Should I read it again? Should I waste my time all over again?
Yeah.
Oh wait, Connor, you read Six of Crows, or is that what you're talking about?
No, I was just saying, like, I always say like Jane Eyre is my favorite book, and then I'm like, why is it my favorite book? Because it's been like 2 years now. I've like forgot all the details.
Yeah.
Someone said, not y'all dragging one of my faves. Which one? The Gilded Wolves, Six of Crows? Which one are we dragging?
Which one are we?
Was it Zenith? It was Charlotte.
Or was it Zenith? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
This is just turning into us dragging books that we liked or didn't like. Speaking of dragging books, Mexican Gothic.
Oh no. Not
Oh,
with
no.
TV in the chat. Not with TV in the chat.
No, I'm gonna do it because TV's in the chat. Oh my gosh, that book, nothing happened for 200 pages. Literally nothing happened. And then for 50 pages, it was just like, what's happening? What is happening? I don't know.
I hate that in books. Like when you're just like, why?
It wasn't even good revealed. It was like not. It was like somewhat foreshadowed, but the whole reveal was just like a mess. And I was like, what is happening right now? Like none of this makes any sense and not in a good way.
Was it Lisa that you read it with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lisa, back
Yeah,
me up in the chat, please. TV's coming at me.
Yeah, I thought it sounded really good, but I mean, I probably will still try it at some point. But yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to try it, but then I saw Armin drag it, and I was like, maybe not. Maybe
I mean, a lot of people loved it, so maybe you'll like it. But for me, there was just no plot. Like the entire first 200 pages of the book, I was waiting for something to happen, and literally nothing was happening. And the 2 points where like something creepy was starting to be foreshadowed, it was like, this is like near the beginning of the book, so I guess I can just explain this one scene. But she's like sitting in her room, and she's like dreaming or not dreaming. I don't know. This book has a lot of weird dreams, like hallucinations and stuff. But this woman like comes into the room, and she's described as being like wearing a golden dress, and it's like gold stuff is like coming out of her face. Like she doesn't have a face because it's just like gold shining stuff. And she's just like watching this occur, and this lady like walks in, and the main character is watching her walk in, and then nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden she's like, and then she remembered to be afraid, and she felt a terror, a very intense terror. And then like the chapter ends, and I'm like, okay, she's scared of like faceless Tinkerbell. Like what's going on here? Why is she afraid? Nothing happened. But yeah, it was just it was interesting.
Interesting. It's my favorite word for it. I don't know what to like say without being nasty. I'm like, it was interesting.
Yeah, I'll say it like 10 times in the same video. It was interesting. Make your own opinions. Someone said Mexican Gothic has a very pretty cover. It does. I was displaying it face out just because it was so pretty, and now I'm like not wanting to.
You're gonna turn it around. Just hide it.
No, I mean it's a very pretty cover, and it wasn't an awful book. There were points where I was like, okay, I'm enjoying this, but at the same time, there just wasn't enough of those moments to balance everything else. So it's like, yeah, I need stuff to happen to be interested.
Connor, have you picked up any more of the Shadowhunters?
No, so I'm going to finish these two, and then Dracula. I'm going to read Dracula next, and then I'm going to go into the Infernal Devices. Because I feel like I'll probably read all.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I feel like I probably want to read them all back to back. But so when I get like the rest of my TBR through first.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was so happy whenever you got them.
I was so happy
Honestly,
you liked
hopefully.
them. I was so worried that you'd be like, this is trash. No, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
I'm scared that he's not gonna like the Infernal Device.
Oh my gosh, if he doesn't, I'm gonna be so sad.
No, I feel like I will. Because everyone says that those first three books are the worst, and I actually loved them. So.
Okay. But also, there are some people, when they love the first 3 books of like the Mortal Instruments, like they don't like the Infernal Devices as much because they love the Mortal Instruments, and I'm like, one of them is clearly superior, and it's not the one you like.
I don't know. I think I'll like them both, hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Do you have to read the Mortal Instruments before the Infernal Devices? or can you just go into that?
You could just go into the Infernal Devices, and you won't be
Yeah.
spoiled. But that's
Okay.
like the only one. You couldn't read the Dark Artifices before anything else, but
Yeah.
that one you can.
Might.
So you can either read it chronologically by like time period it's set in, or you can read it in publication order, or you can do like what Connor is doing right now, which is read the first 3 Mortal Instruments, then the Infernal Devices, and then the last 3 Mortal Instruments. I read the Infernal Devices first because they're set in the 1800s, and I wanted to go chronologically and not be confused. So,
No,
So that's
okay.
interesting. 'cause I
oh, the
didn't-
Infernal Devices. I don't know if I said the Mortal Instruments.
you didn't.
Okay.
I don't know a lot of people who've read it like that.
Like reading it in chronological.
Yeah, reading it, the Infernal Devices first. I feel like that would be interesting to read it like that.
I think I was young enough to where the shift in writing style didn't bother me as much because I like wasn't very critical reader. So I read the Infernal Devices and I loved it, and then I read the Mortal Instruments and I loved it. Now going back to City of Bones after having read her later works is like, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm one of those, not like rare, but like that I'm one of those people who read the whole of the Mortal Instruments first and then read
Mhm.
the Infernal Devices, because I think I read the first 3 Mortal Instruments books and then I tried the first of the Infernal Devices and just like didn't like it. I was like, no, this is not Jace, this is not Sari, and then I put it down, read the rest of the Mortal Instruments, but then picked up the Infernal Devices. Was actually like, yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah, see, that's what I was going to do. I was going to read all 6 first since I already owned them, but everyone kept telling me to read Dark Artifices next, and I knew I was going to buy them anyway, so I was like, I might as well just buy them now.
See, I don't know if it's just because what is it called? The Last Hours, is that the new series?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know the names of the series yet because
You met Cassie for the first
okay, hush, I hadn't read the book whenever I met her. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know Chain of Gold was coming out until I heard about the Cassie Clare signing. Like, I bought the ticket the week before. That's why I was in butter. That's why we were in butter.
we were in the very last group to meet her.
Yes.
We got our tickets late.
But that was good because it gave me time to like process that she was there, because I'm a very late processor. Like, I'll go to concerts and then 2 days later I'll be like, wow, I was face to face with this person. But then with Cassie, it was like we had the time to just sit there and watch her for like an hour and a half and be like, okay, she's real. And then go out there. But yeah, basically, with the Last Hours, like, I don't know if it's just because the characters from the Infernal Devices are grown up and they're still in the book. Like, it's just really disconcerting for me, and I don't feel as attached to their kids because, like, with the Mortal Instruments, you can significantly separate it from the Infernal Devices. It's like, okay, there's a set of characters from the Infernal Devices, and then there's a set of characters from the Mortal Instruments, and it's like 100 years apart or whatever. But then with the Last Hours, it's like Will is being like an old dad. Like, this is confusing me, and it's kind of weird, and I don't know if I like it, and his kids are annoying. So, like,
Don't spoil it for Connor.
okay.
I
But,
forget
like,
everything as soon as people say it anyway. Like, I've definitely 100% watched like spoiler-filled vlogs on all these books, but I don't remember anything. Like, because I just watch them in the background, like.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm excited. Although I'm going to be so annoyed if I can't get spines that match all of these books for the next series. It's going to annoy me.
Are you buying them like if you find them like secondhand somewhere, or do you like?
No, I'll
order-
probably just end up buying them first hand. Like, is that a thing? First hand? I'll just buy them now. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
TV, not TV, talking about the incest plot line.
Did I miss this? What?
I love that though. I love the drama.
I remember thriving off of that when I was like 14.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was great.
Because I went to
It's
see the
just the
film.
aim.
I went to see the film before I read the books, so I came out like knowing obviously nothing about the rest of the books. Came out of the cinema with my friend, been like, "Oh my god, do you think they're brother and sister? Oh my god, I don't think they're brother and sister." And we were like literally living for it. It was just it was drama. It was such drama.
I don't want to watch the movie or the TV show because I like looked up pictures of the actors and it looks nothing like in my head. So I'm just like not watching it.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Or read it first before you like ruin it. Because I didn't think the movie was that good. I didn't think the show was that good. But
I never watched the show. I watched the movie though. I don't think I liked it very much.
I still love the movie just because it's like nostalgic for me. Also, I love Jamie Campbell Bower so much. But this TV show, I watched that from start to finish, and I still don't know why I put up with it because I hated it. But I still watched it from start to finish.
I didn't even know there was a
About it
TV
all the
show.
time.
I liked Alec in the show.
Yeah,
I think
same.
Matthew Dario is such a good Alec. Like,
Yeah.
I picture him as Alec now when I read him, but that was like the reason I watched the show. So
Yeah, Malik were like the reason why.
I always have issues with adaptations because I have very vivid images of like the characters in my head while I'm reading, and then whenever I watch the adaptation, it's like not what I imagined. I'm like, ugh.
That's my
Yeah, that's how I
favorite,
feel.
the Shadow and Bone.
Well, I've never read Shadow and Bone, so I can just enjoy the show.
I think because I don't love the Shadow and Bone trilogy, I can just be like, it's fine. I'll just take the TV show as it is.
The first book is horrific.
yeah.
It gets worse. The first book is the best one.
Oh,
Have you read them all, Leah?
no, I only read the first one. I picked it up like twice and then DNF'd it, but I just thought because of the show, I'm just going to get through it. No, it was a 1-star. It's horrible.
It's really bad. I think all three of them are really bad.
Yeah.
How
But
is
I
it so
love
popular?
What?
I know.
How is it
I
so
don't-
popular if it's so bad? Like, I've heard everyone say that it's bad.
Yeah, I don't get
I
it.
think obviously when it was released like years ago, it was like, you know, because it's that thing of trashy YA. We all loved that back in the day because of how old we were. I think that's why it was popular. But as we've all got older, we're like, it's actually not that good. So
I've never heard one good thing about the original books.
I don't think that the show could have been done without Six of Crows. Like, I don't think anybody would
Yeah.
really.
oh no, definitely not.
That's just like I don't even know if that's unpopular. I think that's everybody's opinion. But I'm watching it for Kaz and Inej on screen. Like, that's what I want to see.
Fair enough.
So where is Shadow and Bone set? Like, where is that whole series in relation to Six of Crows?
It's before.
Oh, it's before?
Like, yeah, it's before. Wait, Shadow and Bone is before Six of Crows. The Shadow and Bone
Like
trilogy is
years.
before Six of Crows. Yeah,
Okay, so
I
they're
don't
like
know.
children.
I don't.
The main characters are like young. It's
Yeah,
they're
that's
not the
teenagers,
same.
aren't they?
Like Shadow and Bone characters have never met the characters in Six of Crows.
Yeah, but I
So
think
where do Kaz
somehow.
and Inej come in?
What?
Where do Kaz and Inej come in?
So they live in Ketterdam. Like Six of Crows takes
Yeah.
place in Ketterdam, and then Shadow and Bone takes place in Ravka. So it's all the same world, and like they could travel to Ravka and like vice versa, but they're not. They've never met. Like Mal and Alina in Shadow and Bone have never met Kaz and Inej.
So is Kaz still in the show?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
and
think
then
they're
they're like
going to
mixing-
combine them in a weird way.
Is it combined in the books or is it just the show?
just the show. This
Not-
switches.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
it doesn't really combine in the. I don't want to spoil too much, but it doesn't really combine. In
So
the
like,
book.
what are they? Are they like? Is it like a Shadow and Bone / Six of Crows combined show? Like, what's happening?
Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah.
Okay, so they're gonna tell the Six of Crows story within this show.
I don't know, and yeah, they
I
are.
don't
But
think
I don't
anyone
know
knows.
how they're doing the timeline.
Okay. I literally have only read the first book of Six of Crows, so I'm like very confused on the whole. Like, I know there's like 10 different series going on in that same world, but yeah, okay.
I haven't even read Six of Crows, so I'm so out of the loop.
I've not read any of them at
I like
all.
it.
No.
I want to like it so bad.
You need to read it like you need to
I
read it.
definitely will, 100%.
I honestly don't think I will. Like, it's not even like Shadowhunters where I'm a little bit curious. I just genuinely don't care.
Okay.
I feel
Ow, that
that.
hurt. But okay.
This just turned into like a Shadowhunter stream.
As it should.
As it did, yeah.
How the show is going to work. That's so true, TV. Yes.
I saw so many
Lisa
things about
said
the
it has-
music.
Yeah, that was my entire Twitter last night.
Yeah, I like haven't read the music yet, but I've never read the book, so I don't know if I'm gonna have any attachment to it whatsoever.
Do y'all want to do like a 10-minute reading sprint or?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm
I
done.
just want to say that Lisa talking about Ben Barnes. I appreciate that.
What is everyone reading during the reading
My main
sprint?
reason.
I'm going to read some more of this.
I'm gonna read.
I think I'm going to start. Gone
I know
Girl.
Charlotte
Oh,
I mean, I love Gone Girl.
Gone Girl.
Charlotte, what
I
did you think of it?
I've never
Bad.
read it. I watched the movie, and I still don't know what it was about.
Oh my god, it was so good. I was reading it on the plane, and I was so scared the plane was going to land because I had like 50 pages left, and I was trying to read as fast as I could. Like,
Maybe I should add that.
I enjoyed it for the majority, but it wasn't. It was when I got to the end, and I was like, "Well, is that it?"
Oh god,
That
okay.
was my. I just felt a bit let down by
I
it.
know.
But I think it's
I
Is
really
it-
enjoyed it.
only person
If I've
that
already
felt
seen the
that.
movie, can I still read the book and enjoy it?
I've not seen the movie, but the book has like a lot more, obviously.
Yeah, I've heard some people say that they've watched the film, then read the book, and the book just was a bit boring because they know what happens.
I really don't remember most of it. I remember like very vague plot lines.
You might be all right then.
I feel like
Alright.
I've not seen the movie, so I don't know like how they do like there's like a twist obviously in the middle. Like I don't know how they do that in the movie because it's so shocking on the page. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, I'm going to get spoiled.
How long are we going for? How long
Tell me in the chat, should I start reading The Darkest Minds or should I start reading Six of Crows?
Okay, I can't choose. I was like Darkest Minds, but then you said Six of Crows, and now I'm like, I can't choose.
Sorry.
I've already read Six of Crows once, so I kind of want to read The Darkest Minds.
I didn't really like The Darkest Minds.
Oh, drama.
Dragging everyone's favorite.
And Six of Crows is longer. I kind of want something with. How much brain power does The Darkest Minds take? Because like, this was exhausting.
It's quite like back in the day YA. So
Okay,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna read. No TP. I'm not rereading Mexican Gothic. That was a waste of a week of my time. I'm never touching it again. I should have stopped when I found the spider on the cover. That was it. That was when I should have taken the sign from the universe.
Yeah, that was
Read the
cursed.
book. Literally, I was like reading it, and there was a spider on the. I can't.
Everyone said Six of Crows, so I don't know if you. By everyone, I mean Teresa and Lisa. Only thing.
Sorry, guys. I ask you your opinion so that I can clarify my own opinion. I'm gonna read The Darkest Minds because I'm tired.
Okay.
Reading.
All right.
How long are we reading for? Just curious.
10 minutes.
10 minutes?
Yeah,
Do you
Sure.
want to set a timer, and tell us when to
Yeah,
stop?
I can set a timer.
Stop.
All right.
Let's see. Timer. 10 minutes. Cool. I'll let you know.
If
Sweet.
anybody's reading in the chat, y'all should tell us what y'all are going to read with us, too.
Okay.
All right, it's been 10 minutes.
Hello.
I realised I was muted. I just finished a page, so that was handy.
I finished like 10 pages.
I'm just checking how much that's.
I read like 3 chapters because the chapters in this are so short.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Mm,
I'm literally not
I
wearing
read about
headphones. I was like, why isn't anyone saying anything?
I hate it when you start, but
Yeah, I just checked. Every single chapter is 5
I love
pages.
chapters.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah, same.
I think Throne of Glass is short chapters by Sarah J. Maas, which I really liked.
Yeah, the last Wheel of Time book, that I just read, the third one, each chapter was like 12 pages, whereas before every chapter was like 25 pages. And I was like, why does this feel so much faster? And it was because of that. Like, it really does help.
Yeah. Even now, sometimes whenever
It's very.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, like sometimes whenever I'm writing, I'll like be on a chapter and it's like so long, and I'm like, okay, this is dragging because my chapter's so long. And I'm like, if I don't like to read long chapters, I'm not gonna write them. So then I have to like shorten them.
Yeah.
How many words do your chapters tend to be?
I don't count the words.
Okay,
I do
yeah.
like pages is what I usually do. Like when they hit 10, like some of my chapters hit 10, and I'm like, this is excessive. This is a lot. Like any more than this is not gonna work.
According to
Yeah.
Google, the sweet spot is like 3,500 to 5,000 words. Yeah, I don't know. Mine are usually like 4,000.
Mm.
I always think that I want to write, but I just can't do it. I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
I haven't written
don't
anything in like 2 months. I don't know how I'm gonna do NaNoWriMo because like, oh my gosh.
I'm
I
excited.
don't know if I want to do it.
I don't know if I have time.
Yeah, me either. I'm nervous.
It's okay. You can just write a little bit. I'm not gonna do 50.
50 is a lot.
50's a lot.
One month.
I did 30 I did 25 during Camp Nano. So I might try to hit 50
I think
because I'm at like 30.
Is this like 50,000 words?
Yeah.
Mm.
I only did like 10 for the camp. So,
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
but I want to
used-
try
I
to
used-
finish my draft. I want to try to finish in November.
You should.
Like, I'm
How far are you?
I'm at like 30 right now. So,
What's your like goal for finishing your story in terms of word count?
probably like I want to get to 100,000 and then see from there.
Yeah,
Depends.
about same. So I'm at 30-ish right now. I think I hit
Have
30
any
and
of
then I
you-
stopped writing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So have any of you read The Secret History? Because apparently the chapters are huge. We're saying
No,
in the
I
chat.
actually want to read that.
That doesn't make me want to pick it up either.
Same.
Honestly, The Shadow of the Wind had very inconsistent chapter lengths. Some of them were like 40 pages long, and then some of them were like 3.
Yeah, I was happy to get to a short one. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But it was so good, so.
Therese says she's read The Secret History. How was it?
Yeah, apparently the last chapter is 150 pages.
No way!
Oh my god.
The last
That's
half of the book. Oh
that's
my god.
novel.
That's
I'm never
like
picking
an
that up.
entire book. That's like the whole
Oh,
Dracula book.
Yeah, that's a
Wow.
novella.
That literally is.
But your own chapters. Oh my
That's
gosh. That's wild. I can't.
I
The
remember
chapters are kind of-
I remember wanting to read The Goldfinch before the film came out, and I was like, okay, I'm going to read it. Then I looked up how many pages it was. It was like 700 pages. I was like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Oh my god, is that 700 pages?
That's by the same author as The Secret History. So I was like,
I got it secondhand for $2 the other day, and because Sydney always mentions it in her videos, and I'm scared. I don't know what it's about, and it doesn't even have a dust jacket, so I can't read the blurb on the book. I could look it up, but like that's so much. Like it doesn't look like it's 700 pages long, but it's like long, so it's like
Yeah.
a big book. So it's probably.
I
I'm
got
scared
it.
now.
I
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not gonna read it. Like it's just.
I don't know when I'm gonna read it, but it's pretty. It's like completely white. I'm gonna show it to you guys.
I am interested in The Secret History, but I don't know. It's not a priority.
Yeah, I am.
Clarity with
I've
them.
also heard, who's it? It was from Jesse over on Bow Ties and Books. They said there's a lot of racism in it, or like a lot of slurs and stuff like that, just like casually in there
In this one?
in the Secret History.
Oh, in Secret History.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's fun. Yeah.
I think one other person in the chat had said they read Shadow of the Wind, but I mean,
Yes,
did you see or like read any? Like, I felt like it was really misogynistic at some parts.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there were a lot of random things. But when was this written? Because
It was written a long time ago, so I was kind of
yeah, I figured it's like some of the characters were incredibly homophobic and misogynistic, but then other characters would like argue with them, sort of. So I don't know what the author's stance was, but I know some of the characters were definitely kind of problematic.
Yeah, and I didn't get the vibe that the author was trying to put their own, like, that they were misogynistic. So that's why I still enjoyed it. But I don't know, that's kind of hard too whenever you read books that are problematic, but you really like them. It's like, I don't know. It's like sometimes.
I was just gonna go and like assuming that it's the character more than the other, like,
and also the time period. Like, I'm not saying that excuses it, but I think the historical accuracy of the book was portrayed because the people in the book were at varying stages of homophobia and misogyny, like the way women were treated at that time. I don't think it was the author saying this is how they should be treated. I think it was like, this is how they were treated.
Yeah, that's how I always assume things are.
So what did Therese say that the Secret History was homophobic also?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, see, yeah, I've never heard that about that one. I've just heard a lot of people that like say the positives about it, but
I think I've also heard that it's like that for the Goldfinch as well. Maybe it's the Donna Tartt thing. I don't know.
And I think it also depends on if it's the author like putting forth their own views and trying to convince people that that's the right way, or like normalizing it, or if it's like a historical book. If you're writing a fantasy and all your characters are just misogynistic for no reason, like
it was like when I read, oh my god, what's it called? Is it The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss? That one, which I finally read, even though it's like thick. It wasn't until after I read it that I heard that the author is misogynistic, and then that kind of explained a lot about the female characters, because really the only main female character was just in there as the love interest, but we were kind of meant to view her as this kind of woman that sleeps around, and that's a bad thing. Like, and I was just like, okay, it just felt like she was just being put down all the time for just sleeping around or just like seeing multiple men. And it was just like, this is a bad thing for our main character. This is a bad thing. And I was like, okay. And it made sense once I found out he was misogynistic.
I think it can be really hard to work out whether it's like the author or the characters, which is why I always try and just give the benefit of the doubt and I always assume it's the characters. But then if you do research into the author, then sometimes it makes more sense. But I like to just give people the benefit of the doubt and like assume the best.
Yeah. And I think it's definitely more difficult with older authors like that have published in the past, because nowadays, like if an author is publishing, they're usually like on Twitter or some kind of social media, and if people call them out, like they have the option to explain themselves, and you can also see by their actions like how they've responded in the past to certain things. But then with authors who are already like dead and gone, like what can you do?
Stay with classics. Like obviously I read quite a lot of classics, and when there's like anything that's kind of problematic, I just kind of ignore it and just put it as like the Times. You know what I mean? Like, because I feel like you can get really hung up on like every single book, like finding what's wrong with it. But for classics, when the author's already dead, especially as well, it's like
I think we should be aware of the problematic aspects of it. But
yeah, definitely.
I think there's a difference between a book having problematic elements because of when it was written and that was normalized, and somebody glorifying something well after we've realized that it's not correct. You know.
My boyfriend just bought me KFC. Sorry about that.
Oh my god, a legend.
I didn't know. Okay, I feel like KFC is such like a American thing. Like, I didn't know there were KFCs in other countries, and then I went to Africa to visit my family, and we got out of the airport, and the first restaurant I saw was a KFC, and I was like,
I thought it was
What?
just an English thing.
Huh?
I had no idea it was in other countries. I thought it was just a British thing.
It's Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
I was really surprised when I was in Chicago and seen a Nando's, because in my head Nando's is only in like the UK.
Yeah.
That baffles me.
And I
Seen
was
Tim
really-
Hortons in the US.
We have Tim Hortons in Glasgow.
I
Really?
don't think we have that in England.
No, we don't.
There's like quite
I
a few
love
of them
Tim
actually.
Hortons.
I've never had any. No, I have. I think I've been once.
I say I love it. I've been there twice. Andrew, what were you saying?
Oh, I thought it was funny because TV had said in the chat this was the UK and Texas live show.
Oh yeah, it basically is.
His comment just now, so I can't stop laughing. Oh, that's funny.
Leah said, I didn't know they had Kentucky Fried Chicken in other countries.
Oh, I don't want to talk about
I
it.
feel like it's so obviously American. Like everything about it.
Yeah.
God. Well, in other news, the vegan burger from KFC is really good. So
Is it back? Because I swear
Yeah,
it was only round in
They have
January.
vegan stuff at KFC.
and
Yeah.
then
They only
got
introduced
one.
it in January, and then they got rid of it when like coronavirus happened.
Yeah.
So is it back now? Yeah.
yeah, I literally had it like 2 days ago. So I'm
Cool,
assuming
that's cool, because me and Leah are in the same city. So.
I hope that we have it then. I'm gonna go find out.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Y'all are making me want fried chicken. I don't
Vegan
even like
fried
chicken
chicken.
anymore. I don't even like chicken anymore. So maybe I'll have to try the vegan food. What is that even made of? Like, what does it taste like?
It's just like a fake
Imagine
meat with
how-
like the
Yeah.
KFC kind of like coating, like the spices.
The
and
thing
stuff.
about
That's
here
wonderful.
is all the fake meat is more expensive. Like, you get vegan anything
Yeah.
anywhere, and it's like $5 more expensive.
It was so hard when I was over in Wisconsin. Like there was the only place I could go that had vegetarian food, like fast food wise, was Taco Bell. Like
Okay, but
McDonald's
there's nothing in
has nothing.
Wisconsin. Wisconsin has nothing.
Well, I was there for 4 months. Okay, I had to make the Taco Bell was the only place that had like any vegetarian options.
I'm not gonna lie, Taco Bell's pretty good late night food.
I love Taco Bell.
I had a Taco Bell across from my apartment my first year in college, and 2 a.m. like it hits.
I love it. I was so excited when they brought Taco Bell to like the UK.
Yeah, I didn't know it was here until I came to Brighton, and then there was one there, and I literally went every day for about 2 weeks.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so good.
Yeah, I think I've had it once, I think.
I haven't had it in a while because back in summer there was like a 2 week period where I had it like 9 times in 2 weeks, and then I've just not had it since then because I had just made myself sick of it. We were so off topic of books.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. You just gotta go with the flow. I literally, over the course of this live show, have like 3 books piled up next to me. Like,
I just had a video go live 1 minute ago, so everyone go watch it
Go watch
after this.
After this, I had a video go live earlier. Go watch that.
I
Yeah,
have to
that's
edit
my
one
work
today.
later.
You guys are just uploading like left and right. I have literally 50 videos on my to watch, and I'm not getting anywhere. I watched like 2 yesterday.
Yeah, I was in daily uploads last week and then I just stopped. I did it for
Yeah,
5 days in
I
a row.
added them all
Yeah.
to my list, and I haven't watched a single one.
Yeah, well, the last one got privated because the views were bad. I was like, I'll just pretend that didn't happen.
I got really happy just now because. Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's a lot to do daily vlogs, Connor. You should be
Yeah.
proud of yourself.
Yeah.
It's like Vlogmas, but
I
Are you
can't,
gonna
I
do
can't do
something?
daily vlogs. That's too much. I don't do enough in one day.
Very weekly vlog.
Are y'all gonna try to do Vlogmas?
No. My life is exciting enough.
I don't even know what Vlogmas is.
It's just
You
like
just vlog
a
every day.
video every day.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
what I
I'm
thought.
running up
But
to Christmas. It's
Yeah.
like a.
yeah, same there. I can only do like 2 videos a
I
month.
don't know.
It's
Did it,
too
I
much.
feel like it started back in like 2013 with the classic.
Noella.
videos, yeah, like Zoella and that lot.
It's basically just like to make money because the AdSense is higher in December. So
Mm.
like all the creators would upload every single day to
Yeah.
get more money. And then they'd say like, "Oh, it's Vlogmas," but really, it's just so they can get more money. Like
I
that's
didn't
what.
even know that. That's so smart.
I did not
Yeah.
know that. It's-
I'm gonna do Vlogmas now.
Wow.
Oh,
It won't do me any good. Not monetized yet. Still
Yeah.
several hundred hours from that.
Andrew, you'll be doing Vlogmas now.
Yeah. It's like, hey Andrew, we'll just stream all your videos and not skip the skip the ads.
Yeah.
I'm having to stop myself now because now that I watch like my friends' videos that are monetized, like I have to make myself not skip the ads because I'm so used to watching like ones where it really doesn't matter whether I skip the ads or not, you know?
Yeah.
So I just automatically click the button and now I have to stop myself. I'm like, no, I gotta give them my 2 cents.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just skip it. Like it. Yeah,
No.
It's the monetization thing is just like crazy. Like I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't even think I'll get any money for like months. Like it's just really hard to even get money. So like unless you have like a huge following.
Yeah.
Like I think
Yeah.
I broke it down and it's like $1 per 1,000 views. So
Yeah. So like,
Well.
yeah, when you first start getting monetized, you probably get like maximum like $1 or £1, whatever, a video,
Hey,
which is like
maybe like 4 months later you could buy a book.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's nice to have like
Make
it's nice
it.
to have like the clout of thing you're monetized though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a book haul video where it's just books you buy off of your AdSense money and it's like 1 book per book haul. I bought this from a charity shop. It was $2.
it's a one no because that's. I know I don't know if y'all could tell, but all of my shelves are empty.
Oh my God.
And I need to
Wow.
put all my books on, which is gonna be fun.
Oh my gosh,
Are you
I'm
filming
literally
it
trying to
today?
stop myself right now from just redoing my shelves. Like, there's
Oh.
no reason.
I always want to do that, but I
It's
just
Do y'all
have to
have
stop
like any
myself.
advice? Like what?
I have like 3 different systems.
Yeah.
I keep my series together, like up here, all my Rick Riordan books, all my Cassandra Clare books, and then on this side I have, geez, what way do I turn it? And then I have like my random fall shelves that I want to change out because they're bothering me.
Yeah,
It bothers me that my walls are blue.
I have my Shadowhunter shelf, and then I have one shelf that's like all my favorite books, and then the rest of it, which I feel like is the other way is a really rare way of doing it, but I do it in alphabetical order based on the author's last name, just because I'm organized like that.
I really wish I had like shelves people could see because I arrange mine all the time, but they're obviously like behind these mirrors. So like I'm the only person in the world that ever sees them. But
Yeah, I
they're nice
think
for
I've
me to
never
look
seen
at.
your shelves.
It's because
I know. I was like, wait,
they're
I don't
behind
think
it.
I've ever seen.
There's like that one video you made of your room. I don't know if it was a vlog or if it was a room tour, but you had like a clip of your bookshelves and it was just all the classics, like matching spines.
Yeah. Well, I have like they're on the floor. I have like some down here as well, like under my desk. Because my desk has like a built-in shelf. So I have like the black spine ones there, and then everything else is in like those mirrors. Maybe one day I'll have a big fancy library room to myself.
Oh, the dream.
I'm constantly like torn between wanting more books and feeling like I have too many books. I'm like, am I buying books for no reason? Like, am I going into like the capitalist hole? Like, what's happening?
No,
Because I have so
on
many
I have
books
no
I
room.
haven't read.
I was on a book buying ban, and it lasted. To be fair, I think it lasted like a month or maybe like 3 weeks. And now next week I'm doing a book haul, so look out for that.
No, I did 2 months. I stopped buying books for August and September. I bought Truly Devious at the end of September because it was $5 at the cafe, and I needed it for I didn't need it. I wanted it for my October TBR. And then I have literally 2 book hauls in my last vlog in the first week of October. So.
I know. Like mine isn't even for money reasons. It's purely just because I didn't have any space left on my shelves.
I'm running out of space.
And now I've just done like a big unhaul, so I have space.
Yeah. I was just saying I got really happy because I picked up this book and the cover is fall colored. So now I'm happy. Because I can take a Bookstagram picture with it and it'll look nice.
Your Bookstagram pictures already look nice. The book will just add to it.
Did you see them before I deleted everything and restarted? Because those were atrocious.
They
I thought
were.
I was doing a good job and I wasn't. I went back and looked and they were awful.
I always
Yeah,
try
see,
to take
like,
nice. I was saying I always try to take nice bookstagram photos, but they always end up coming out terrible, and I'm just like, yeah, no, I can't be bothered. I'll just won't
Tiny
upload
and
anything.
Dangerous just joined, so hello.
Who joined?
Tiny and Dangerous.
Okay.
Username.
Hello.
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 Yeah, I have so many books that I haven't read. Like, I literally have over 100 books physically that I haven't read. So I've been getting overwhelmed. I'm like, do I need to just get rid of them and just buy when I want to read it? But then I'm like, but I always have options, which is great. But I just have so much. It's like frustrating me right now. So I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I know, but I think I'm at 46 or something like that. Although I need to take the ones I'm unhauling off my Goodreads shelf, so it'll actually be lower than that. Because I really do want to get it down to like
40.
under
Yeah.
30. I think I'm meeting Helen this weekend, by the way.
Oh my god, are
gosh.
you? Oh my
Oh,
god.
Yeah.
that's so exciting.
Well,
I'm gonna drive down, so we'll vlog.
Yes.
Please.
Good.
Oh my gosh, I want to come to that Europe. I almost said like the UK, and then I was like, but I also want to go to Scotland, and oh my gosh.
Well, technically we are
Literally-
the UK, sadly.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the correct term is. I'm not caught up on the times. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. I don't know what we're doing though.
Oh my gosh, it's so like strange. The first time I met like online friends, the only time actually, I wasn't really very close. It was a group chat I was added into like a week before a Dan and Phil event, and then I went there and I met them, and it was so awkward. It was just a bunch of socially awkward 11-year-olds or 12-year-olds,
Oh my god.
I love that.
and we were just sitting there at IHOP like at breakfast the morning before the morning of the event, and none of us were talking. It was so bad.
I met quite a few people when I was in America because obviously, like I went to New York and LA, but just by myself.
Mhm.
So in LA, I met up with Kevin, like Storycliff, and his girlfriend, and then in New York, I met up with like a few people that I just knew through Instagram. Like there was one girl that we were like Tumblr mutuals back in like 2012, and then we followed each other on Instagram, and then she just seen that I was there, and she was like joining me up. So it was really fun. Like none of it was awkward.
That's cool. I feel like it would go a lot better now, but that first time was
Yeah.
bad. Also, I like didn't care that much. Just like I had literally met a bunch of these people like a week before, and so I didn't really have any
Yeah.
emotional bond.
Yeah, because obviously over last summer I went to Emma Books's London meetup,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like so surreal because there was like obviously I met her, but then I met people that I now know better on BookTube, like Shannon from 155 Books, who I love. Who else did I meet? Oh yeah, you guys know Rue from Rue's Reading Corner. She's yeah, I met her. We were like chatting in the group for so long. There's just so many people there that I met that I'm just like now I'm just always watching you on BookTube, and I didn't know who you were before. And now it's so weird.
That's so cool, though.
That's so cool. Yeah, typically I have online friends that I then meet in person, which has happened like twice. But then you have Andrie, who I met in person and then was friends with
Yeah,
online,
I've had
so
it like
that's
that.
fun.
Well, yeah.
It was like backwards that we met before, and then
Yeah.
we became online friends.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever met anybody like that I knew online and then met in person. I don't think I have. I meet people at like book signings, and then we become friends. That's like always what happens. But I've never met.
But usually when that happens, I never really talk to them after that. Like if I meet somebody somewhere, I'll like add them on something, and then that's like the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't usually talk to them after that. So this was like a unique case, but I'm glad.
Yeah, I usually do. Like at every book signing I've went to, I've met people, and I like still talk to them. Cause like I'll always find one person, and we're just like gone talking about stuff we like. Cause we have so many like favorite books, so we don't run out of stuff to talk about.
Mhm.
So, and then
I've
I
never
see
been
them
to a
at
book
other
signing.
times.
I've never been to a book signing. Like
I
kind of
feel
fun.
like
That was my
that's a lot.
first book signing. I didn't know book signings were a thing. Like I
You
was
guys-
oblivious. I was so oblivious. I didn't know that authors did signings. Like I didn't know you could meet authors like that.
Yeah.
Do you guys
I would
wanna
like to
know-
go, but I think it would have to be someone I really like. I don't know.
Yeah, do you guys want to know the only book signing I've been to? It's kind of embarrassing because how old was I? 14. I feel like I know that Leah and Connor will definitely know them. But I met Connor Maynard.
Oh my god.
It's the only book signing I've ever been to.
What was he from again? Was he like the
He's a singer, yeah. He's from Brighton and he's a singer, and I was obsessed with him when I was 14. He released a book which had to be like early 20s. So I just honestly how he wrote a book about when he was that age, about his life. But I went to the book signing and I was like 14 being like, hi, I love you. Let's take a photo.
That's cute though.
So embarrassing.
A lot of the ones I went to, they didn't let us like take pictures. Like that you couldn't do post because there's so many people and you have to go through so fast and you can only talk to them for like 10 seconds. So like the first time I met Cassandra Clare, I was just like, hi, I love Julian Blackthorne. And I just didn't have anything else to say. And then same thing with Lee Bardugo too. I was like, I love Kaz. And then she's like, I loved writing him. And then she was just like, okay, go. Like, and I was like, but I just want to stay here and just like talk to you. But yeah, Holly Black actually was the nicest because she let us take pictures, like posed, and she signed like everything you took. Like if you took all 20 of her books, like you could get them all signed. So that was really fun.
I used to go to these like band meet and greet things when I was like 13, to like all these emo bands, and there was maybe like 50 people there, so it's not that much, and they'd be like, no pictures allowed. Like I was so fast, like you literally, they signed your things super fast. I don't know who half of them were. I would just go for the sake of it, and then that was you. And one of them was Blood on the Dance Floor. Like I went to a Blood on the Dance Floor signing.
Connor, why? Why?
Actually, we went as a joke, but then it was that way where you like ironically listened to them. So I actually have a picture from that one. I have a picture of me and Jay Von Monroe, but Davy Vanity never showed up. He like patched the meet and greet. Like he was meant to be there and he just didn't show up.
I went to a concert for this band called Dashboard Confessional with my friend because it was her birthday, and this band called Vinyl Theater opened for them, and they were actually pretty good. And so they had like the meet and greet after. It was a small venue, so we just went and got our poster signed, and they were so impatient, like with all of these 14-year-olds that were there. They were just trying to like get rid of us so they could go hang out with the groupies because they were all like coalesced over there. I was like, okay, it's showing. Like I may be literally 15, but I can tell you don't want to be here. Like just sign my poster and let me leave.
I must have been like 15. I went to in Oxford Street. Like there were so many people there. We pretty much ended up causing like a mini. It wasn't like a riot. We were like 15 years old, but causing chaos in Oxford Street outside Claire's because it was for the Vamps. And oh my god, it was pandemonium. And there was like the security were terrible because they kept like pushing us and we were like kids. But I didn't get to meet them. It was really sad. We literally, like, their manager had to come around to the front of Claire's and like, guys, can you just calm down because this is out of control. Oh and it's just a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds there for the Vamps.
Yeah, someone mentioned the digital events that have been going on after COVID. Like, I think it's a really cool thing because it makes it a lot more accessible to people. Just like starting with, what was it called? Y'all Stay Home, Y'all West, that book festival, that was pretty cool. And then I got to do like the meet and greet with Arvin Ahmadi for How It All Blew Up, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, they are really cool.
Oh my gosh, I was not expecting there to only be 5 people there. I thought it was like a full like webinar meet and greet with like 200 people, but there were 5 of us. It was cool though. And also Eugene Yang, oh my god. I still can't believe that happened. Cool.
Lisa loves a vamp.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that Lisa does. She always goes in her like monthly favorite. She always goes on about them.
I'm gonna expose myself. I don't think I've ever listened to more than one song by the Vamps.
I feel it because they are kind of like teenage. Like when they started, they were like going towards like teenagers and teenage girls. Like they're still like I still love their music, but I yeah, I get why some people don't like them.
I really like Somebody to You. I love that song. But like other than that,
I just
don't know
remember
anything.
when I saw them at the BBC Radio 1 Teen Awards in London I can't remember what year it was. And they performed there, and they brought out, because Shawn Mendes does like on one of the versions of that's for Demi Lovato's on Something to You, but for their version of Oh Cecilia, Shawn Mendes does a part on it, and they brought out him as a surprise, and the whole place just lost it, because it was like, oh yeah, it's the Vamps, and then Shawn Mendes comes on, and like 15-year-old me was losing it. It was so funny.
Shawn Mendes fans, though, I love Shawn Mendes. I've seen him in concert twice. The first time was chill because I was like way up in the nosebleed, and then the second time was at Austin City Limits, so it was like super tight packed, and I was camping at one stage all day because all the bands I wanted to see were all at that one stage. So I showed up like when they opened, and I was just there like the entire day. And the Shawn Mendes fans were awful. Like there was a girl behind me who started out like way in the back of the crowd, and over the course of the next couple of hours, she showed up like 3 hours after me, so I was pretty upset by this, but she showed up, and over the course of the next 3 hours pushed her way between people until she got to the front. But for the entirety of one of the sets, she was standing behind me holding a rose with thorns. It was being pressed into my back because everybody's packed like sardines, and she's holding this rose that has her phone number written on it on the leaf. And then whenever it came time for Shawn Mendes' set, she got to the front and she threw it, and it didn't even make it to the stage. It hit the speaker, and it was on the speaker. Like whenever I left that night, it was still sitting there on that speaker, and I was like,
what did you expect? That he's gonna phone her up?
I was so mad. I was about to turn around.
That's so funny.
Tell her to put the freaking rose down. It was literally stabbing me in the back.
I had
like
a full-on fight.
She was dedicated.
I had a full-on fight with someone at a Lana Del Rey concert of all places, because it was these two boys, and one of them like elbowed his way, like we were quite near the front, and he elbowed his way right in front of us, and obviously we weren't happy about it. And then the guy he was with, who was like his boyfriend, was also trying to get through, and then I was obviously like blocking like this. I was like, you're not both getting in front of me, like. And then he tapped me on the shoulder, and he was like bright red in the face, and he's like, do you want me to stand here myself? I went, yes, because I don't want either of you in front of me, so why would I let you in front of me as well? Like, and he was actually like bright red in the face, like tears run down his face, screaming at me, going, why do you want me to stand myself? And I was like, because your boyfriend shoved his way to the front. I was like, that's not how it works.
Like, bring your boyfriend back here, and you can both stand here behind me.
I was like, you can both get behind me, but you're both not getting in front of me. And then somehow they did, obviously. Like, I blinked and he was in front of me.
Oh god.
Crowds are literally sometimes you can make a good friend in a crowd, but all my crowd experiences are just like, I hate crowds. Like I can't. Everybody just turns into the most obnoxious people sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't really like concerts, to be honest. Like,
I miss concerts. I love concerts. It's just I don't like the obnoxious people that you meet. Like some crowds are great, and they'll like, especially when we were at Austin City Limits, they were like passing water back, because Texas in the summer is, why do they have outdoor events? Like, why do they exist? But they were like giving us water, and everybody would, take some, and then they would pass anybody who needed it. But then at the same time, there's the people who will literally shove you, and like if you fell, they would step on you, like just to get to the front.
Yeah.
That's very like Texas. I've always wanted to go to ACL, but I never did.
I've been once, and it was all right. The lineup just has to be like amazing, because other than that, because I saw Hosier, that was good. I saw Shawn Mendes. Arizona was probably one of my favorite ones I saw that day, because they were a smaller band, and they were like earlier in the morning, so there weren't as many people crowded in. Saw Arctic Monkeys. That was the next year, but it was Billie Eilish and like a bunch of rappers, and I don't listen to rap, so like there was no point in me going just for Billie Eilish, because it's like a $200 something ticket. So
yeah, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
I've never been to a festival. I couldn't do a festival. That's too much for me.
I think like
It's
a day
exhausting.
festival, not like a camping one.
I just have this thing where I know that I'm gonna like fall over and everyone's gonna stamp on me. Like I just know it's gonna happen.
Okay, but you're like 6 feet tall, so you're just gonna be the one who everybody wants to get around because you're so tall.
No, I can just tell, like someone will push me and I'll be lying on the ground and I'll be getting crushed to death. Like I can imagine it so clearly.
That low-key happened to me at a club night at uni. And Dick and Dom were DJing.
Oh my god.
Armin and Andrew won't know who they are, but
They're like kids TV presenters.
yeah, and they started a mosh pit, and these were like the people we'd watch on TV as kids, and they were drinking beer and swearing, and started a mosh pit, and I basically got knocked to the ground in this mosh pit, and found these bodies falling on me, and I was like, I'm gonna die. This is it.
Yeah, I'd probably start crying.
Oh.
I used to love, like, I don't know what happened to me. I used to be so into like going to raves and everything. I'd be right in the center, and then one day I just stopped liking that, and I just hate going out now.
Yeah.
I got boring.
Oh my gosh, speaking of, since we're on a book live show, my first concert was a Fall Out Boy concert, and Wiz Khalifa was opening, and as I said, I don't listen to rappers, so Wiz Khalifa got up there and he was like singing, and there were inflatables being around, and like it was wild, and I just pulled out the Maze Runner and started. I don't know. Okay, I think it was the Kill Order. I'm not gonna look at the cover. I think it was the Kill Order, and I just pulled it out and started reading it in the middle of the Wiz Khalifa concert. And the people around me were giving me looks like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I don't enjoy this."
That reminds me of one of the times I went to the Radio 1 Teen Awards, and I don't know who was performing. I honestly can't remember. Someone was performing, and in the row in front of me and my friends, there was this like younger girl who was just sitting down while everyone else was standing. She was on her iPad, like cropping photos of Nash Grier and Cameron Dallas for her lock screen, and I was just observing her, being like, "What are you doing?" She looked so bored. I'm like, "Why are you here?" It was so weird.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's music in my book everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's like my go-to token story when people are like, "Where do you read?" I'm like,
At the concert.
well, at the concert for one. I took one to ACL, but it was too packed tightly together. So like, I had taken like the little bitty Sherlock Holmes novel I had, because it's like tiny, and I thought I could read it, but I was scared of the paper getting squished or like spat on or something, so I put it away.
I can't read if there's like noise.
Yeah, I'm quite like
I can't read with noise. See, even like when we were all reading like at the same time, I had to mute my laptop because I could hear like background noise on someone's thing, and even that was bothering me. Like I need silence.
It really depends. I think I read better in the silence, and obviously like now it's harder for me to read. It's harder for me to focus with noise. But back then, like I could read just to tune people out. Like I'd be at a family gathering and everybody's being loud, and I just pull out a book and I'm gone. Like that's it.
Right.
Yeah, I prefer not to, but I will. I'm like, if you're gonna talk to yourselves, I'm just gonna read. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. If I'm bored, just pull out a book. That's how you do it.
It's like when people are on their phones, like when you're with your friends and they're on their phones. It's just like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I finished Clap When You Land at a family gathering like a few months back because they were like doing something and I was getting bored, so I just pulled out Clap When You Land and I just tried reading it.
When I was in LA, I was reading Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and it was taking me like so long to read because this was just when I was in America, I didn't read that much, and so I was like walking like through the city, like reading as I was walking, trying to like get through the pages because I was like trying to use any time I could to try and get through this book, which I actually did enjoy it, but it was just taking me so long to read. I was like walking down the beach, like reading on the beach.
Yeah, I agree. Just with like Lisa, the ASMR rooms. I love those. I have like a whole playlist.
I've never done an ASMR room. I think I need to check one out.
I also do ones that are like they might play like Lord of the Rings or like Harry Potter music in the back, like ambient music like that. Also, because again, it's like music but doesn't have words, and that is just calming. I like those.
But if the music conflicts with the vibe that the book is giving off, it confuses me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if I'm just listening to cafe lo-fi music, like I can't. I was trying to do that yesterday while I was reading Shadow of the Wind, and it was just too upbeat. Like it's like this isn't cafe study. This is like this is a whole nother level.
Yeah, someone said I like picking out atmosphere rooms for whatever I'm reading.
Yeah, I try and sometimes match it.
graveyard sounds. That sounds spooky.
Oh god, that does.
What does a
I
graveyard even
listened
sound like?
to Halloween lo-fi the other day. Y'all don't even know. Like I didn't have friends, but like I would throw parties for every holiday with like the 5 friends I had. It was like I was such a party planner. Like I would go to the Dollar Tree and I would just buy like decorations and snacks and then set up like little tables and stuff. It was so fun.
I like them that.
Like little charcuterie boards, but for each season.
I would always have room parties when I was in America, and I'd like set up all these little bowls, and I had like a big Halloween tub, and I would like fill it with ice, and I was like, everyone
Yes.
come in. I loved organising that. I just hate cleaning up.
Yeah. After everybody's left and it's all like lonely and sad, you have to clean up.
One of my dorm parties, the RAs like came in the room and was shouting at everyone, and I got charged like I think it was like $80 fine or something like that. It was so annoying. So that was the last party I ever had.
I've been to maybe 3 parties in college and I hated every single one. Like I never want to go, and then I go for whatever reason. Like if it was like a roommate's birthday or something, I would go out. And it was always exhausting and just like gross, and the music wasn't good. One time it was on the 2nd floor, and I'm terrified of things like the floor caving in and stuff, and everybody's jumping, like synchronized jumping in this old house, and the floor is shaking, and I was like, no. Oh,
Andrew's gone apparently. I went to a Halloween party in Wisconsin, and for some reason, the only music they had was in the basement. So upstairs and like the main floor was just like people talking, but there was maybe like 200 people in this tiny house, and it was like everyone was standing like this, and it was just awful. Like we were there for like 40 minutes. And I was like, okay, everyone back to my room. This is too much. That was the night we got fined, actually, I think.
yeah. I have much more fun at like little kickbacks with friends that I already know with snacks. There has to be food.
I feel like 10 people is like the maximum.
10 people's good, and there has to be food. Like there has to be snacks. Like all these parties, they just have alcohol, and I don't drink, so it's just like a bunch of people standing around drunk, and I'm like, okay, everybody stinks. Like I'm not having any fun.
Oh my god, that house I was at, the one that had 200 people, smelled so bad. I'm not kidding on. It was disgusting.
So, I have like really low battery, so I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, I think that's a good time anyway to like.
Yeah,
we
we
have
can
to
probably wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah. This is what happens when we don't have Zoom calls to actually talk. Like we just turn our live streams into
Yeah.
conversations.
Well, thank you everyone that watched.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
We'll probably do at least one more this month.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out
And
for
hopefully
more
we
reading
can
sprints
get
and stuff.
hopefully we can get all the hosts on. That'll be
Yep.
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for joining. I hope you guys had fun and got some reading done. Bye.